Welcome back to the Piney Woods homestead, y'all. Y'all, this mud is sucking the life out of me. You ever feel like that? It's just sucking the life out of you. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of work on the sawmill here real quick. It's not the intent of today's video is to do a sawmilling video, but y'all, actually yesterday I came down in the rain and worked on that T-handle that was all messed up, the threads. I cut a couple inches off of it, reinstalled it. I think I can get my blade tight enough to use now, because I don't think the plans I had to get it welded are going to happen just yet. I need to get up with someone that has the time to do it, and I had thought I had that worked out, but apparently I didn't. So I'm going to get somebody else down here to work on welding this new part on here for me. But in the meantime, I've got some sawmilling jobs to do, and y'all, if you're like us, you need that work rolling in so that you can take care of business. So I'm gonna take care of business right now. Put a new blade on this thing, see if we can get a decent first cut. If it cuts well, I'm gonna get me some 2x4s and we're gonna carry them up to the off-grid cabin. I'm gonna put nailers down up there, y'all, for the metal roof that's gonna be going on it. Old tin roof we're gonna salvage from the barn. Guys, thanks for stopping in at the Piney Woods. Today's all about mud. Y'all, I gotta loosen this up so that the blade come off, and I believe it's loose enough now. And that's the purpose of that T-handle that has been messed up, to loosen it and tighten it. Because you gotta keep the proper tension on a blade for the thing to cut straight. If you get too much tension on it, it'll snap, and then you've got a $30 blade that's shot. And if you don't have enough tension on it, you get wavy boards that really you can still use, but not for anything that requires real exact, precise measurements and lumber. You get some waves in it. So try to keep that thing just right so that you get the perfect cut on it. You don't break a blade in the process, especially if you're doing work for other people. All right, I slid the new blade on, and we're gonna see if this T-handle will tighten this blade far enough if I don't run out of real estate between the actual handle and side of the mill housing. And I know how far I have to push that. There's a spring over here. I know how far I gotta push it so that it's adequate, and I believe I've got it. Oh, it's a little loose. I see the problem. My nuts are walking over here. I ain't got them tight enough. See, all my problem over here is I'm having trouble getting these two nuts to lock together good and tight. I got to get me a wrench back on it, because when I can't even get it on there now, when I push this push rod in, it's just the T-handle is continuing to spin through them instead of these nuts locking and depressing this spring. So y'all gonna work on this right here without filming it, because it's mighty boring, and see if I can get these nuts to lock together so I can at least get a test cut on this thing and see if my little semi-repair will fix it. But y'all, isn't it something how one little thing can bring the entire machine down? You know, probably a $2 part can bring down this thousands of dollars machine, and you can't even use it. Kind of like life sometimes. One little thing can throw a kink into everything, and nothing seems to want to be working. Kind of like the mud out here. All right, y'all, about 2 hours later, and probably a few words you wouldn't want your preacher to hear, is what it is. Got this thing back together, and we'll see if this thing will make a cut. Gotta get this thing running, y'all. Let's just see if it'll work. Y'all said this wasn't going to be a video about milling, but it very well may be. We're going to talk about mud too, though, y'all. And maybe not in the sense you may be thinking. Since it's taking me so long to get this mill up and running, probably going to be a milling video. Hope you don't mind. That's how fast it goes with a fresh blade. Y'all, I got me a nice cant to work with there, but let's take a break from milling just a second because I want to talk about mud. And y'all, I'm not just talking about all this mud that you see out here. I'm talking about real mud. Yeah, this is real mud. It sticks to everything you're trying to work on. You get your feet hung up in it. It wears me out real fast, y'all. Whenever we're feeding the pigs, if I go inside of any of the pastures out there this time of the year, it just really does a working on my heart and my lungs. It wears me out real fast, but I'm talking about the mud of life, y'all. The mud of life. And on our channel right here, we're going to profess our faith in Christ quite a bit, y'all, because honest to goodness, that's our number one priority. We love homesteading, we love growing all of our own food, but the most important things to us are Christ and family. And a lot of times we'll let the mud of life just kind of seep in and drag us down, wear us down, you know, whether it is losing a job or having to change career paths or decisions that family members make that kind of drag you down from time to time. But y'all, The good thing about it is you can wash it off. You can wash that mud right off, y'all. I'm talking about the blood of Christ. How when you wash that old stink off of you, it makes you whiter than snow. And that's what will get you through life. It is not gobs of money. That'll help, but it won't get you through life. It won't get you to the next, that's for sure. But y'all, just when it comes to mud in general, you can wash that stuff off. Whether it's the mud on my boots from walking out here feeding these hogs and everything else that's in the mud, y'all. And you know what I'm talking about there. I've been avoiding it quite a bit because even up here where I'm milling at, our new little cat in there that we only get a couple glimpses of a day because he's busy inside the metal building, and we feed him twice a day, and he won't let us touch him, but he'll stand there and let us talk to him from about 5-10 feet away. But y'all, anyways, he's decided to make my shavings pile over here his bathroom. I don't like that, but at least it's all in one spot and I know where it's at, so I can avoid that, you know. I ain't gonna step on that and stink everything up. So at least I can see the danger and I can avoid it. So y'all, there's danger in life. Look out for it. Avoid it altogether if you can. And if you do find yourself in it, it can get washed off, no problems. We'll get back over here to the mill, and some of you, you know, I realize some people don't even want to hear this stuff, and that's fine. But it is what it is. This is our life, and we want to share it with you. Share you how we live it. You can choose to do what you want to do. But anyways, we're going to get back to this log. I'm going to get that thing cut up. I need 2x4s. And I'm about wore out, y'all, so this may be the only video today is milling instead of going up the hill to that off-grid cabin, which is what I planned on doing. So guys, I appreciate you hanging with me. Let's get this thing cut. Y'all did pretty good right there. Ended up with 12 perfect dressed store-bought type 2x4s and some 3/4 by 4-inch stuff and some 1-inch stuff, 4 nice 1x5s that I can use for flooring. But I want to show you what I did to the mill to get this thing up and running. You know, it took me a couple of hours. It was pain in the posterior. But if you look down here, I couldn't get these two nuts to tighten up onto each other to lock in place. So when I was threading the rod, and you can see all that damage right there now, why it wouldn't tighten up. I just couldn't get them to tighten, and I didn't have anything, a wrench wise, I could get down in here in this confined space and tighten it. So I tapped it, and I run me a self-tapping screw down through that nut into this old 3/4 bar, tighten it up, and now I got it on that spring. The piece I actually cut off here 2 inches I got on the other side, it runs up in the spring. So that works out pretty good. See, y'all, that's a temporary fix. It's not a permanent solution. It'll get me by long enough to get a couple sawmill jobs that I've got. One here for Carolina Hill Country to get done. Muddy or not, it needs to get done. So I'm gonna get him on over here. And then I have another milling job to do for a contractor that's good about giving us firewood off of lots that he clears and things like that. So got to get that done. And I flew a little too close to Whisker's little sandbox area out here, so I got to clean my boots off. But y'all, back to that mud, y'all. Not a lot of folks talk about it on the homesteading channels. They'll wear t-shirts that say I love Jesus and stuff like that. That's great, you know, and not everybody's comfortable talking about it. I get it. But y'all, we're going to talk about it here from time to time, not every single time. Like I've told you before, I'm no preacher, nor am I qualified to be. But I'm going to talk about what the Lord's done for me, y'all. Well, to me, that's my real purpose. And hopefully the channel will continue to grow, and if it doesn't, we appreciate those of you that are here and watching. We really do appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good day, a great week. We'll see you on the next one, and we're going to be up at that cabin Or at least I will. Lisa may be splitting wood. We'll see. See you in a few days, guys. Have a good one.